Hey everybody, today we're going to do something really fun. I'm going to share with you the complete details about the NEXA Mortgage commission structure, including the 4-way compensation plan that can empower you with daily payouts, higher commissions, and really a revolutionary revenue share program. So if you're thinking about changing brokerages, then this could be a game changer for you. So sit back, hang on tight, get that notepad out, because we're going to do a deep dive into the compensation structure and get after it right now. This is Paul Dunn with NEXA Mortgage, and if this is your first time to my channel and you want to know everything there is to know about earning, working, growing, and building a business here at NEXA Mortgage, or anything at all, then go ahead and click that little subscribe button, tap that little bell, and you'll be among the first to be notified anytime I drop a new video. Now, I really believe that it's super important that when you join NEXA Mortgage, you join under the right sponsor, someone who wants to help you grow your business and grow your revenue share as well. And if you want to learn what our group at NEXA is doing differently than other groups to help you grow not just your business, but your revenue share, then go ahead and hit me up with a DM or a text message, or give me a call, or even use that little link down below to set up a one-on-one Zoom call, and we'll take a look, a deep dive, and see if NEXA is right for you. Now let's get into the compensation plan. Hey, I know that if you're thinking about changing mortgage companies, probably I know for a fact that the first thing you want to think about is what is the compensation like? And so really that's what we're going to deep dive into today. Now, NEXA Mortgage has become quickly the fastest growing mortgage brokerage in the country, just hitting 22 mortgage originators just last month. And what's really interesting is it reminds me a lot of eXp Realty about 8 or 9 years ago. So here's why I think a lot of originators are just flocking here to NEXA Mortgage, and it's that 4-way comp plan. And so we're gonna look at the first one right now, and that is the base commission. So let's dig right on in. Okay, so out of the 4 compensation types, the first one is going to be your base commission. And so what we're looking at here is the commission chart. And you'll notice that on the left, we've got this column here for margins. Now, when you first sign up at NEXA Mortgage, you're going to have to pick a margin that will be applied to all your lender paid compensation deals, right? Which is going to be most of them for the most part. And so I always suggest to folks to use 275 basis points. And by the company getting 275, you get 220 basis points. You can pick other margins as well if you want, but I always suggest 275, because if you do need to cut a deal or go squeaky small on a deal, you can always switch to borrower paid compensation, and then the margins just don't matter here, right? And we can explain that in a different video. So I know a lot of you watching this are probably getting between 125 to 150 basis points. So if you can get 220, that is a pretty substantial difference. So let's just say that you close a $500,000 loan. 220 basis points is an $11,000 commission, right? If it's only a $250,000 loan, it's a $6,500 commission. So let's take a look at the next way you can get compensated, and that is bonus commission. And so number 2 is going to be your bonus commission. You see, you're going to get your 220 basis points on up to your first $3 million in volume per month. But once you hit that $3 million in funded volume, then NEXA is going to pay you a bonus. And you can see right here that 100%. So everything over 3 million is going to get 275 basis points. So to reiterate, you're going to get 220 basis points on that first 3 million. Anything over 3 million is going to be 100%. So if we do a little calculating, 220 basis points on 3 million turns out to be 66 grand. And then if you had that another $1 million on top of that at 275 basis points, that's 27.5. So you can see how that over the course of a year, that bonus commission can really add up. Okay, so NEXA Mortgage is committed to continue to be the largest mortgage brokerage in the country and the fastest mortgage brokerage in the country. And so the third way you can get compensated is through the NEXA Partnership Compensation Plan. And so if we look here at the chart, normally you get 100% commission once you hit that 3 million in production, but NEXA Mortgage wants to reward you for the contributions to the growth of the company. And so what they do is, once you have introduced 10 originators who produce, then you get 100% at that 2 million mark. So instead of waiting to get to 3 million, once you hit 2 million in production every month, you get 100%. That's the 275 basis points. Now, to sweeten the pot even more, let's say that you've brought 15 originators aboard. So if we come down here, all of a sudden you are a senior partner. You've brought 15 originators aboard who are producing, by the way. They can't be people that just occupy a chair. Then you're going to get your 100% commission starting at just $1 million in production. Now, I know a lot of folks around the country, that's just one loan, that may be just 2 loans. So that can kick you into that 275 basis points, 100% commission really, really quickly. Now, let's say that you just love NEXA to death and you're telling every originator out there that you run across, and you end up bringing in 20 originators who produce, and again, they don't just sit at a desk, they actually produce, then you're going to get 100% on every loan from the get-go. That's right, 275 basis points from 0 to whatever you end up producing. That is going to be your commission structure. Again, that has to be with 20 originators who actually produce. And this resets every single month. So let's say that you've got 20 who produce in May, then you're getting 100% on every loan period. But let's say that June hits and you've only got 15 to produce, or 17 or 18 to produce, then all of a sudden you've got to do $1 million in production at that 220 basis points before you get that full 275. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, man, if NEXA's paying the 100%, they're paying the whole thing, how is NEXA making money? Well, I'll tell you this, if you're just one originator and you bring in 20 producing originators to the company, they're making money. And so way number 4 that you can get compensated here at NEXA is the NEXA Revenue Share Program, should you choose to participate. You don't have to. Most originators just want to go alone and do loans and maybe introduce 1 or 2 people to the NEXA platform because they love it. But if you choose to participate in the Revenue Share Program and help build the company, I highly suggest you do that. It's very, very lucrative. It's the main reason that I came over here to NEXA Mortgage. And really, they modeled it quite a bit after the EXP revenue share platform, which helped grow EXP exponentially, right? And I think we're gonna see the same thing here. NEXA right now reminds me of EXP about 8-9 years ago. So this is a great time to join NEXA. So what I'm gonna do now is head on over to the downline calculator, and we're gonna just do a little analysis on what revenue share looks like. Now, I'm going to just completely ignore this side. I'm going to completely ignore this side, and we're only going to pay attention to the actual recruiting income, right? Because this takes into consideration, your regular sales for yourself and all that. So we're not going to deal with that. But let's just say that you join NEXA and you love it and you introduce it to one person, and that one person does, let's say, I don't know, they're kind of an average producer, does maybe $1.5 million a month. Then, so you get 10 basis points off of that month's production. Now, if they continue to produce $1.5 million a month, or whatever it is that they produce, let's say that the next month they only do 900 grand, then you're going to get that $900 off that production. No matter what, that top line, you end up getting 10 basis points of that production up to $3 million. So remember where we had this cap over here, this $3 million cap? Well, when somebody hits that cap, then they get 100% commission. And so there's no revenue share after that, right? So let's go back over here to the downline calculator again, and we'll see if it still has our number in there or not. Nope, it doesn't. So we'll reset this. We'll say you've brought one person on. They do $1.5 million a month. So that gives you the $1,500 a month. But let's say that person, we'll call it Sue. Sue brings on Bob, and Bob is all excited, and so he joins down here on your downline too. But you see, regardless of the volume that Bob does, you're not going to get paid revenue share on Bob yet. Once you hit 5 people that produce in this top line, you see how that turned blue now? It was red like this one. Now you can get paid on Bob. And let's just say, everybody does $1,500 a month. So now you've got 5 recruits in your top line. They all produce all about 1.5 million. Your downline number 2, that's Bob. You're going to get you're going to do about $9,000 a month. That's 10 basis points off of that funded production. And again, it does reset every single month. But let's say that Bob here loves the company and he goes out and hires somebody, finds somebody to join. You're not going to get paid on on Bob's recruit until you've got 10 people up here. Now you can see that you're going to get paid on Bob, you're going to get paid on this person as well. And that's only a total of 12 people right there. And that's adding up to about $18,000 a month. if they all produce $1.5 million per month. Again, this does reset on a monthly basis. And if you want to go into more detail about this, send me a text message, give me a call, schedule a Zoom call with me, and we'll do a one-on-one where we'll share this calculator, because I do not believe this is public facing right now. And again, this is just all for educational purposes right here. No guarantee that you are going to make $18,000 a month, right? But this is how the system works. So another thing I want to mention about this real quick is this is not only a great way to build a business inside of a business here, your brokerage inside of a brokerage. And I'm just going to throw on a couple other numbers. Let's say you get to 20 folks up here and you've got maybe 5, or we'll call it 10 here. And these guys aren't as good as the other folks and you only got 5 there. But what I want to mention is that this is a fantastic way to build a business inside of a business, a brokerage inside of a brokerage, that is, where you can grow your team nationwide without the management problems, without the expenses or anything. You're just introducing people to NEXA Mortgage and welcoming them aboard. And if you're anything like me, you're going to help them bring their recruits onto that top level. And I want to leave you with this. Your revenue share is willable. So think of it as a safety net for your family. So if something were to happen to you, heaven forbid, and you have it in your will, then your beneficiaries could take over and receive that revenue share. So let's say that if you have this at $52,500 every month, that's what your beneficiaries will end up getting, depending on the monthly production, of course. So I know what you're thinking. Hey, Paul, this is pretty cool, but how often do I get paid? How long does it take to get paid? Now, I know that working at a mortgage company, I've worked at a few myself, that it can take, well, maybe you get paid on the 1st and the 15th. Maybe it takes 30, 40, 45, 60 days to get paid after a loan has actually closed. Well, NEXA is a little different, right? And if you look over there, payday is every single day. What NEXA does is treat you kind of like, well, they pay you kind of like a realtor gets paid. You get paid every single day. And there's 3 things that you need to do. Number 1, we need to verify that the wire or the check has been received by NEXA. Number 2, you take 3 or 4 minutes and log into LendingPad, which is our loan operating system, and just do a little bit of compliance work, basically verifying the dates, verifying that you've got the signed final CD as well as the wire breakdown up there. And then the 3rd thing you got to do is press the little button that says the loan is closed. And then within about 24 hours, you'll get a notification via email, hey, we're processing your payroll and please verify whatever. And then 24 to 48 hours after your loan is closed, your funds hit your bank account. Now, how cool is that? All right, so hopefully that gave you a real good idea of how the compensation programs work over here at NEXA Mortgage, given that you've got 4 different ways that you can get compensated: base commission, bonus commission, partnership commission, and then that revenue share, the revenue share as well. Now, again, I can't reiterate enough how important it is to pick the right person, the right sponsor when you decide to join NEXA Mortgage. Now, if you'd like to know some of the things that we do for our team over here at NEXA that's different than some of the other folks will do to help you grow not only your business, but your revenue share, then go ahead and send me an email, shoot me a text, give me a call, or even use that link below to set up a Zoom meeting one-on-one, and then we can do a deep dive and see if NEXA is a good fit for you. Until then, we'll see you in the next video.